very, very young children, when they are lacking sleep, become more restless when they are awake. Children show all of these symptoms, their anger, their aggression, their frustration, in movement. Taking a nap in the afternoon and then sleeping for 6 hours at night doesn't count. That doesn't still total as 8. Lovely eyelashes, curly hair. And the child is talking. What time does she sleep? Oh, she sleeps at 2 o'clock. What time does she get up? Oh, the moment I get up at 6, she's up. I'm like, then? No, and then she's like this. What have you done to my child? It's 8 o'clock, my child is not getting up on me. We realized what she was doing is asking, ye kya hai, but she was speaking in a high tone. And that's when we realized that she speaks fine. She just speaks in a very different tone. During the COVID times, there have been the primary complaint after the 2 years of lockdown is restlessness. Children as young as 2 and 3 and as old as 10 and 15 are not able to sit down in one place. They are very restless. They are continuously wanting to move. There are many normal causes and not normal causes for these. Primarily are the ones that can be corrected by us. The first thing is the sleep. Second is diet. Third is exercises. Let's talk about this first because these are things that we can fix. A lot of these things got disrupted during COVID because the school became online, the timings changed, the diet changed, what we were doing also changed. So the first and foremost, the first thing that went for a toss is sleep. Everybody's sleep routines got a little different. Now the problem with sleep is that especially for children, whatever they learn during the day goes from their short-term memory to their long-term memory during deep sleep. It's a proven fact. You can Google that. If a child does not get that adequate amount of deep sleep, this whatever that they have learned doesn't get translated into long-term memory at all. For deep sleep to occur, it usually occurs about 2.5 hours after you have fallen asleep. Your body starts to produce something called as melatonin and that puts you in that deep sleep, and then again after that in 2 hours you wake up. So in a sleep cycle of 6 hours, the first 2 hours is not the deep sleep, the middle 2 hours is the deep sleep. So for those of us who have a lot of habits on doing the reels on screen, until last minute, our body does not produce the melatonin until 2 hours after you shut your eyes. This becomes a problem for those, especially our teenagers who are trying to learn their in 10th standard, but they have to be in social media because that is very important. Very young children, when they are lacking sleep, become more restless when they are awake. It's like you and me, when we don't get enough sleep for 3 or 4 days in a row, we need more tea or more coffee. We are angry a little more. We are getting a little frustrated. Children show all of these symptoms, their anger, their aggression, their frustration in movement. They are absolutely unable to sit still, especially when there is lack of sleep. They go around like those little wind-up toys that we had as children. They are unable to stop it, like the Energizer bunny. They keep going and going. So sleep becomes a very important factor for any child. Now there are lots and lots of studies. I'll give you certain amounts of time, but for an average 2 to 5 year old, 10 hours straight sleep is necessary. 5 to 10 year olds, it has to be 8 to 10 hours. 10 to 15, 8 hours is compulsory. Taking a nap in the afternoon and then sleeping for 6 hours at night doesn't count. That doesn't still total as 8. It totals as 6 plus 2. It doesn't total it as, unfortunately for sleep, it doesn't total as 8. On an average, that works very well, especially for exam going children. They need to have that full amount of sleep so that their brain is rested enough to be able to give the exams. Not just that, to be able to even think and get those answers that are being asked. A rested mind is a much better mind to give any kind of exams. Let me tell you a story because it makes more fun that way. So, the other day a child came to my place of work. I'm going to call it clinic. And very pretty, lovely eyelashes, curly hair. Brought me, they had that song as a child. Curly hair, very fair, eyes are true. The child was exactly like that. So pretty. But just like that song, it was like a little wind up toy going and the child was talking. Didn't understand what this child was saying. Absolutely couldn't understand what this child was saying. So then I'm like, whatever assessment, child very bright. For a 2-year-old, could do all the 8 form board, knew how to fit in all the ABCDs in the board. And I'm like, okay, what shall we do? I don't understand. So then I asked the mother, what time does she sleep? Oh, she sleeps at 2 o'clock. What time does she get up? Oh, the moment I get up at 6, she's up. I'm like, then? No, and then she's like this. And I'm like, only 4 hours of sleep? No, she sleeps for 2 hours in the afternoon. And for a 2.5-year-old, that is not enough. I said, okay, what does she eat? Oh, she eats everything she can lay her hands on. I mean, what do you mean everything? Literally everything. Even if she finds a packet, she will open the packet, she will eat that. Any packet she can open all packets. She eats all packets. I'm like, oh my god. So I said the first thing that we have to do is get this child to sleep some. So we did a lot of, she loved the trampoline that is there in the clinic. And she was jumping and jumping and jumping. On an average, a child will get tired after 200 to 300. This child was 1500 and still going. After 1500 jumps, she then decided that she wants to jump in sitting. So she sat on the trampoline and she started jumping, and those I gave up counting after about 1000. After that, fortunately this was a 6:37 p.m. appointment. I told her mother that does your child like milk, and can you give her some warm milk with a little bit of nutmeg and a little bit of cinnamon in it? And she says, oh, she loved that. I said, yeah, but don't put any sugar, just the milk. If you want, maybe put a drop of honey in it. Give her the food. When you think she's ready to go to bed, give her this milk. And then brush her teeth and go to bed. Don't have water on top of this milk. And then she went home, and the next day morning the mother called me saying, what have you done to my child? It's 8 o'clock, my child is not getting up only. I mean, I haven't done anything to my child. Child got tired enough to sleep. I said, can we continue this? Just come every day, just let your child jump and go. And we did that for almost 5 days. And that, this child used to we realized what she was doing is asking, ye kya hai, but she was speaking in high tone. Even her voice production was going on at that level of activity. Ye kya hai, that's all that we heard. And that's when we realized she speaks fine. She just speaks in a very different tone. In the olden days, you used to have those records where you could slow the speed or you could fasten the speed, where she was working at hyper speed even in speech. That was the problem. Lack of sleep. The moment she got adequate sleep, she slowed down considerably. This is a child of extremely a lot of intelligence. Of course, at 2.5, I'm not giving you a figure because that would not be right. It's not done until you're 6 complete. But this is one of the examples that I have for sleep.